Hello, Warriors. We spend half our lives in and around this building. In our time here, hundreds of things are going on, some of which you might not even know about, some you want to know more about. Now, thanks to the internet and a video camera, as well as a little ambition, those things are brought to light. I'm Kevin Fagan, and this is WarriorExtra. Hello, Westhill, and welcome to the pilot episode of WarriorExtra. This show is designed to report the news that the school won't tell you, and therefore I'm required to include the following disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not necessarily reflect those of Westhill School District and its affiliates. Got it? Good. Now on to more important things. There's only one thing on everyone at Westhill's mind this week. Homecoming weekend.
I think it's a way to get all the students doing something together. It's fun. It's a fun way to start the year.
This year, homecoming weekend officially kicks off with the senior cookout immediately prior to the bonfire. Seniors are advised to bring a dessert and $1 to help celebrate being the most important people in school.
Just for seniors.
Any underclassmen trying to crash may fuel a fire, in more ways than one. Now please remember, this is a barbecue, and we are playing against Salve, so the bringing of pets, especially cats, is strongly discouraged. Let's hope that this year's bonfire gets going, as last year's just kind of fizzled out. Sort of like mud. Too soon? Let's take a look at the focus of the evening. Westhill Warrior football.
It's 1-0!
It's 1-0! It's 1-0!
It's 1-0, baby.
Yo, it's 1-0.
1-0!
It's 1-0. That's the battle cry of this year's Westhill Warrior team as they try to repeat as Section 3 champions. They're off to a great start for defending their title, going 3-0 so far after beating Hannibal last weekend. This week they will look to defend the title against the 1-2 visiting Salve Bearcats. The Bearcats this year are led by quarterback wide receiver team of Ron and Ryan Bidwell. Two brothers leading a team to greatness. Sound familiar? I thought so. Yes, for the first time in more than 7 years, the Westhill Warrior roster will not see a single Ross. From Jim to Dale to Dan, Coach Gary Griffo has always had a backbone and a core on which to fuel his team. However, this year, without the presence of the Rosses, new players are able to step up and become a prominent weapon for the Warrior team. It was actually an opposing coach that said, the Warriors never rebuild, they just reload. And no one is proving that's true like senior quarterback Mark McInerney, halfback Jake Files, and receiver Joe Snyder, not to mention perennial seniors and stars Nathan Nagolian and Matt Trendowski.
Yeah, it's a big loss without him, but I think we did fine. We got Nathan returning, Jalen, so we'll be fine.
The Warriors' main asset in this game and throughout their season will be a good mix between their offense and defense, which makes sense because most players are playing both sides of the ball, such as safety Mark McInerney, also their starting quarterback, and linebacker Matt Trendowski, who is also a halfback. Come Friday night, the Warriors' finest will take this field, but be without some of their key players. Second receiver Joe Snyder, who sustained a neck injury 2 weeks ago against the Marcellus Mustangs, is questionable in this game. It's not likely he'll see any time. Jake Files, starting halfback for the Warriors, sustained a leg injury last week against Hannibal. He will not play, which means the Warriors will rely on Dylan Cleary-Krell with help from Matt Trendowski and R.J. Chester to create a ground game that will beat these Bearcats.
Without Files, their running game is down a little bit, but we got enough kids on the team to come around, step up, and we'll be fine. And without Snyder, we lose a receiver there, but Peeble steps up, and hopefully we'll be getting Justin back soon.
For a breakdown of this game, let's take a look at the Warrior Scout. Look for McInerney and Nagolian to hook up at least twice for big plays, possibly touchdowns. Without Jake Files, the tailback combination of Dylan Cleary-Krell, R.J. Chester, and Matt Trendowski will be instrumental in wearing down this Bearcats defense. And while the Warrior defense needs to shut down the Bidwell brothers, I would caution against focusing solely on them. There's 9 other guys on the field that they need to worry about. My pick, Warriors over the Bearcats, 31-20. The next night is, of course, Fabric Conservation Night, otherwise known as the Homecoming Dance. Yes, this is the night when all the girls will bring out the latest fashions designed for elves, Oompa Loompas, and midgets. Of course, the night is not simply a misguided fashion show, it's also a dance. Now, students always complain that the dances done in gym class don't adequately prepare them for the outside world. I disagree. Example. Here's a girl preparing herself for gym class. And some say school's never used in the real world. That said, I have some guidelines for how to make the dance a night you'll remember rather than one you'd want to forget. We'll ignore the pre-parties and the after-parties and focus on the dance itself. Rule number 1. If your purse has more fabric than your dress, you've made a serious error. Rule number 2. Guys standing on the side trying to avoid contact will be pulled into the dances by their BFFs, who are girls they've never met. This can be looked at as a good or a bad thing depending on your perspective. Rule number 3. Everyone, and yes, I do mean everyone, will be expected to dance in the Cha-Cha Slide and the Cotton Eye Joe. Rule number 4. If it looks like you're drunk and you're not, you may want to give up that dream of being a dancer. Rule number 5. Don't wear any Lady Gaga VMA meat dresses. And for our male viewers, please, don't eat one. Rule number 6. If you can ask yourself, who are you dancing with, and the answer is, I don't know, you've made a mistake. And rule number 7. There's always a guy who requests Yellow Submarine. Please, for all of us, don't be that guy. By 11 o'clock Saturday, we've been herded out like cows and homecoming weekend is officially over. From being a first-year freshman to a veteran senior, homecoming weekend is what you make it and can be a source of great stories and great memories throughout your high school career.
Be safe and have fun.
This brings us to the end of the first episode of Warrior Extra. Got any questions, comments, critiques, or story ideas? Please post a comment down below. And rate. Remember, this was the first episode made on a 4-day deadline. The format and direction of the show is completely up to you, and I want to hear from you. Until next time, please enjoy your homecoming weekend. I'm Kevin Fagan, and this has been Warrior Extra.